Hello students, I am Meenakshi Sharma from Krishnakulam School, Mathura, UP, and now I am going to start your chapter number 8, that is motion, for class 9th. Let's start the chapter. Here I am sharing the photo of the chapter. First we'll discuss about motion, that is what is motion first. You think what is motion? If you see around us, many things you see that are in motion or in rest. And what do you mean by rest and motion? If you see the difference, that if there is no movement in an object, then we can say that that object is in rest position, and if there is any movement is present, then we can say that object is in motion. So motion means is movement, or you can say the change in position. If we say about the position, change in position, then there a main point, that is origin. And then what is origin? To describe the position of an object, we need to specify a reference. There are two main physical quantity by which we can describe motion very well. These are displacement and distance. Now let's discuss what is distance and displacement. See the picture, and if we take an object is moving from the point O to C, and after that object is moving from C to A, what will be the total distance? Distance will be 60 km. And if the object returning to A to B, what will be the total distance? Distance will be 60 plus 25 km. Am I right? This is why, because first the car or object is moving from O to A, means 60 km, then returning back how much? From 60 to 35 km, that means 25 km. And what will be the total distance? Distance will be 60 plus 25 km, that means 85 km. This is the total distance. But if we take the displacement, then what will be the displacement? First you see the initial point from where the car has started, and then see the final point where the car has stopped, and see the difference between the initial and final point. What will be the initial and difference between initial and final point? There will be the total 35 km is the duration between initial and final point, and it will be the displacement. Now see the difference. Distance means what? How much total kilometer covered by the car, and displacement means what is the difference between initial and final point covered by that car. So what is the displacement? The displacement is the shortest value between the initial and final point that is covered by a car or any object. Now let's start what is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. What is uniform motion? If an object covers equal distance in equal time, then we can say that the object is in uniform motion. Uniform means what? It will be same in every interval of time. And what is non-uniform? If it is not equal in every interval of time, then we can say it is non-uniform motion. Then uniform motion definition is, if an object covers equal distances in equal interval of time, it is said to be an uniform motion. And non-uniform motion is cover unequal distance in equal interval. Let's explain by an example, that if a car is moving in 1 hour, that means 10 km in 1 hour, and after 1 hour the car moves again 10 km, and then after 1 hour, and the car is moving is 10 km. The distance covered by that car is 10 km. Now let's start about speed. What is speed? Distance traveled by an object in unit time is called as speed. Means in a fixed time, how much distance is covered by an object, that is we call is speed. In case of speed, we need just magnitude. Magnitude is that the numerical value. Only we need the numerical value. We We don't need any direction, we don't need any other quantity, we just need the distance. What distance is covered by that object in a unit time. It is called speed, and the definition of speed is equal to total distance traveled by an object divided by total time taken, and by the symbolic v is equal to s by t. It is the definition of speed or formula of speed. It is very important for your exam. And let's start the next topic. This is called velocity. Before going to start velocity, you have to practice the speed regarding formulas and the numericals. It is very important for your exams. And now I am going to start the velocity. What is velocity? Velocity and speed are almost same. In case of speed, we need not any direction, but in case of velocity, we need directions. During uniform motion of an object along a straight line, the velocity remains constant with time. In this case, the change in velocity of the object for any time intervals is 0. For the uniform motion, what will be the velocity? What will be the velocity? The change in velocity means velocity change is constant, and that means it will be 0. There is no change because in every interval velocity will be same or speed will be same. But in case of non-uniform motion, velocity will be changed or speed will be changed, because in non-uniform motion means speed is changing in every interval of time. It may be increasing, it may be decreasing, but speed will change in every interval of time. Change means there will be any change in motion, change in velocity, change in speed. Now let's discuss what is velocity. Velocity is nothing. Velocity is also same as speed, that the distance or displacement. Why we use the word displacement? Because in velocity we need directions also. Speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. What is the difference between scalar and vector quantity? In scalar quantity we need just magnitude, but in case of vector quantity we need magnitude and directions also. In case of velocity we need directions, that's why we use the displacement in many cases, but in normally we use distance covered by an object divided by time taken by that object. And if there any sense in velocity, then we can say there is another quantity, that is acceleration, get accelerated. What is acceleration? Change in velocity upon time taken by that object. And what is acceleration? In every time interval, what velocity is increased or decreased? How much velocity are increasing or decreasing in a fixed time? That is called acceleration. Means if we use the displacement, then what is the displacement? Final velocity minus initial velocity. That means what will be the acceleration? That final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken. That is acceleration. This is A denoted for acceleration, and what is A? Final velocity minus initial velocity is divided by total time taken. Okay, have you understood? There are so many graphical representation for time, velocity and speed, and from this graphical representation we get three most important formulas regarding motion. These are v is equal u plus at. V means final velocity equal to u means initial velocity of an object, and a means acceleration, t means time. Means final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus multiplication of acceleration and time. Second one is s equal ut plus half at square. S means the distance total covered by an object is equal to initial velocity multiplied by time plus half into acceleration into time square. And third one, last one, is 2as is equal to v square minus u square. Means 2 into acceleration into speed distance equal to initial final velocity square minus initial velocity. and there are the explanation about the terms, that is u is initial velocity of the object which moves with uniform acceleration, a for time, a for acceleration, t for time, v is the final velocity, and s is the distance it travels time t. And last, for this chapter, the last concept is that if an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called uniform circular motion. If any object moves in a circular path, like our earth, like our sun, moon, or with uniform speed, its motion is called the uniform circular motion. These are all about the motion chapter for class 9, and main important things, that displacement, distance, scalar quantity, vector quantity, uniform motion, non-uniform motion, and the three main equation of motions. Okay, thank you.